Hello, 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 everyone. My name is Jamaal Solomon. I am the CEO and founder of J.S. Tax Corporation. I started a couple of brands called Tax and Forget It, which is adult financial literacy. I started a cryptocurrency brand, well, about taxes, named Crypto J. And also, I'm the executive director of a youth financial literacy organization called Crypto J Means Business Inc. Is not a cryptocurrency thing, but we're not going to get into the main reason why I call it Crypto J Means Business. Just to let y'all know, I'm heavily invested in the financial literacy world and teaching people about money. And I have noticed that I'm very blessed to have a great inner circle that I could either text, call, whatever, and just tapped into great minds. So what I like to do in the Money Doesn't Grow on Trees series is basically open up my network to you guys, because there's a lot of brilliant minds. We could go on for hours talking, but we only gonna go for 20 minutes. But if you like that person, we're gonna have their information at the end. And if they on my stuff, believe me, I fully vouch for them. It's all good. Contact them. They real talk. So listen, today we got my man Shrek with 2Ks. All right. And I like that he always says that, because my nickname is Sticks. And I always tell people it was with 2Ks. Don't put the C in it. So I love that he does that, and I respect that, because it does make a difference to us. But however, y'all know with my intros, I'm not going to give you his career breakdown establishments, because listen, if somebody's on my podcast, they dope, period. But here's is why, I got love for him. About 2 years ago, when I started my brand, I had my first live cryptocurrency workshop, whatever you want to call it, meetup. I don't know what the fancy word is. And I was a rookie. I didn't have the slightest clue that particular day there was 5 other big ass cryptocurrency blockchain events going on. I didn't know. I just posted my date up. So, and you know what? I guess he's heavy in the crypto world, and he's known and stuff like that. And I don't take it for granted that he found the time to come to my little thing that had 10 people, 5, 10 people. He spoke, he dropped gems on that. And that to me, that worth $1,000,000 to me, because I do the same thing for people. And when people do the same thing for me, I feel like it's karma, and we just doing it, and we ride and die together. So listen, man, I want to introduce Trekk with 2Ks. All right. Just introduce yourself, bro. Thank you for coming out.
Hola, hola. I'm Shrek with 2Ks, and usually I say hola, hola, G&Gs, but not necessarily. This is not my audience. So, but yeah, man, that's funny. I totally forgot about that story. I think it was when Consensus was happening in New York, and it was a bunch of other things. And I was just like, yo, did you know? But I still came through. I brought my son with me and stuff, and he was like, wow, you actually do talk this stuff. Yeah, but that's a whole nother thing. Yeah. It's funny how the kids see you, man. So I've been in this space for a while. I'm not saying I'm Bitcoin Zay Lamar level, or definitely not Andreas Antonopoulos. I definitely do look up to those folks. Andreas Antonopoulos is one of my early learning resources when I got into the space. And I'm the 2013, 14 range. All right. So I've been around for a while, lost crypto, made crypto, spent crypto, and I've learned a couple of things about myself over this time. One, I'm not a trader, so I don't do price talk. I can tell you a bunch of X amount of technical things, but not necessarily at the coder dev level, because I am not a functioning coder, even though I am trying to push myself through learning how to do Solidity, JavaScript to get to Solidity, and then get to a couple of other languages. I do think, and I'm not saying everybody has to be a coder, but I just know for the things that I see and how I understand this space, what I see happening, especially for how technology works, is you have the base layer technology, and then the second and third layer things are built on top of it, and they come with convenience and ease of use. But what happens is it also limits your ability to understand and function at the base layer of that technology, which means whoever built the second and third and up layer technologies, they can point and push you in whatever direction they want to, because you don't know how to operate at the base layer. And that's what I see happening in the blockchain crypto space right now, why I'm pushing myself to learn how to be a functional coder. And so that's kind of just me, as far as the history part of it. As far as like what I've done, I've written some article stuff for back in the day. I do consult and talk with people about how to on ramp in a more user-friendly way, because you have two types of people who are coming into the space now, where it's the people who don't want to do X amount of the back end work that is required to understand things like holding your private keys, or the cold storage, which is where you're having your crypto go to, as well as just like being on exchanges and stuff, and the risk that exchanges provide versus just you doing it on your own, right? I will say that in this decade, the second half of the crypto era, because technically now is like crypto's a teenager in regards to blockchain cryptocurrency, just making 13 coming up. It is a different mindset because it is a different operational environment for the majority of the people who are coming in now. So you kind of got to go about how you tell them, or how you would inform them or guide them. Some people will say coach them on how they can move around in the space and have the monetary benefit. But I would argue, more importantly, the technological benefit of understanding the technical things that are going on. And I'm not saying coder level, but I'm just saying, can I segue right into what you were saying the initial question was?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like going speed ahead, man. Go.
So I don't disparage anybody in making the money however they make the money in this space, right? So if you're an XRP person, if you're a Hex person, if you're, a stable coins all day person, packs, whatever, do what you do. If you're a person who's chasing, the meme bags and you ride those pumps, do what you do. Again, one of my early, I'm gonna say teachers in this is Andreas Antonopoulos. And one of the things that it took me a while to wrap my head around was, if I say that this is a permissionless technology, I cannot tell you how or why you're supposed to use it, right? So with that, I really had to work on my perception of how I see this technology and its benefits. And so for the people who are about the monetary side of it, AKA chasing the bag, making the flip, I don't knock y'all. For the folks who are trying to figure out what is the more technical long-term benefit, hey, this is where it does a little bit more. You got to do some work to understand what is the utility of the blockchain technology in application of, are we talking about logistics? Are we talking about fintech? Are we talking about the whole DeFi space? Are we talking about NFTs and what that means? And one of the things that also get me about how this technology and its use cases being put to it, like promoted, marketed, is there's a lot more money talk as opposed to utility talk, because utility gets into the technical stuff, and sound bites don't work well when you're trying to tell someone how something actually benefits them or how it might harm them. It doesn't work in sound bites. So case in point, right? When we talk about the Bitcoin protocol and then the currency of Bitcoin itself, right? The small b. The early narrative was Bitcoin is anonymous, but the technical people were like, nah, that's not true. That's not how that works. There is X amount of identifiable information in it. Does it say that this is John who lives in New York, who lives on this street, who lives in this house? No, but it's still identifiable to a degree. And that's kind of where we are right now, where the technicals don't work for the sound bites and the narratives.
But let me just say, because I don't, I think they should hear the question. The question prior to recording this, with me, listen, I call myself Crypto J, but do not ask me anything technical like how Trekk is talking, because I tell you in a heartbeat, I'm about crypto taxes and protecting if you sell it. But you got other people on the other side that they on a deeper level, like Trek. But you also said there's other people that's on, a higher level. And right now,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm noticing, because I am a tax accountant, that people is just looking at the price. They say, okay, Bitcoin is
Mm-hmm.
at 50 right now. It's at 60. We're good to go. But if you ask them, why are you into Bitcoin? They don't know, and they don't know nothing about blockchain technology. They don't know nothing about the gas things and everything that goes on it, because the media is just having y'all just chase this price. And I
Yes.
think it's gonna hurt and we think it's gonna hurt a lot more people than benefit. So we just want to have real talk about what y'all should know about beyond, the noise that the media is doing. So that's what he's talking about.
Okay, so like I'll give you an example. Like
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first time I heard somebody say to me, they didn't know about Bitcoin first, they knew about XRP first. And I looked and I was just like, I was mind blown because I came in an era where everything came through the funnel of Bitcoin and then you found the other stuff.
Yeah.
I recently had someone say, what was it? They found another one of the meme coins. And I was like, so what's their white paper like? And they was like, I don't know, what's a white paper? And then I was just like, wait, what? And I knew that they didn't have the white paper, but
Mm-hmm.
what got me was they didn't know what a white paper
Yep.
was. And I was just like, okay. And like, so,
Can you
and I keep
explain real
saying,
quick what's a white paper?
okay. So white papers generally are academic summaries of a particular topic or focus of interest. So in the case of cryptocurrencies, white papers basically break down like what the thing is, what the purpose of it is, how it functions. What you see happened around like the 2015 going into before like forward period was white papers started adding in the hows and whys as well as like a actual technological roadmap for like things that the organization or the company or the group of people behind it were looking to accomplish to say, hey, we're a successful blockchain. These are the things that we're going to do. And here's the timeline of when we're going to do them. Generally speaking, you really don't need to have a white paper that's longer than like 5 pages, depending on what you're doing. But like I've seen joints that are like 20, 30 pages and you're
Yeah, I
just
ain't got
like,
time for
yo,
that.
if your stuff is that complicated, I don't even need to deal with it because
Yeah.
that means there's one more risk and two, there's more opportunities for me to be lost in what you're actually doing or misunderstand something. So, generally speaking, I stay away from things that got that much paperwork to it. But as far as what's going on now, like if you noticed, right, no one talks about the Bitcoin white paper like that now.
No,
I
it's
mean,
not
the
sexy.
maxi,
It's not sexy.
again, right, it's not sexy. It don't work for the narrative anymore.
Yep.
It doesn't work for the soundbite stuff because if I start telling you technically like, yo, Satoshi wrote it as like, this is a peer-to-peer money. We're not talking about having a government or some agency come in and regulate that you can or cannot use this
Yep.
form of technology to exchange a value between you and another person. Like this whole movement right now going on with, oh, look, Visa's getting involved. Oh, this bank is doing this. Oh, the family trust and stuff are now going to be able to get in. Like, if you read the white paper or at least understand the era of what that development or use case of blockchain technology and cryptocurrency came out as, it was about being anti-establishment
Yep.
and government as far as, hey, I have a certain level of anonymity and anonymity. I'm saying the word wrong, but y'all know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And basically, it was about economic sovereignty, right? I can use my money where I want, when I want, and how I want. And we have definitely moved in the
Yo,
popular side of it away from that.
but I'm a simple dude, and the way I compare this whole situation is what happened to hip hop. Hip hop didn't start out of Nicki Minaj's and Megan
Mm-hmm.
Thee Stallion. That wasn't the purpose of hip hop, But when the corporation started saying, "Ooh, we
We
can
can
make a
make money.
fast buck," it's the
Mm-hmm.
same thing. It's not the artist that's making the billions of dollars because they broke the moment they can't make a song, they broke, and that's the whole thing. When you read the white paper, it's some revolutionary shit that will scare powerful people that's taking advantage of it right now. but they don't want you to know
There's
that. And that's
a
why I need somebody like you to say that. You know?
So when I in the beginning of when I like started figuring out like I want to do this as a career thing, um, I had wrote a paper on Medium, well, not paper, but I wrote a piece on Medium about like that comparison of looking at the elements within the crypto space, looking at the elements within hip hop, and going like, hey, we kind of had the same thing happen. Money, Wall Street type folks, though I call them hashtag Wall Street daddies. They came in and they was like, oh, we figuring out how we can make the money on this. Because you best to believe, like, even though publicly it might be the quote new thing as far as how it's being said in the news and media, it was already Wall Street folks. If you start looking at like the exchanges, if you start looking at the wallets and seeing who's like the parent investor, damn near 98% of them go back to Wall Street or Silicon Valley, which then still goes back to Wall Street, right? So like what's happening right now is it's a slow narrative change and transition to where the Wall Street folks are coming out into the public light. So you start hearing the companies now. You start hearing like the big whale VC investors who are connected to this, that, and the third. Let me caveat this to say, I'm not looking to discourage people on getting into cryptocurrencies. What I'm saying is try to have a better understanding of what arena you're walking in, right? At the end of the day, I'll give another example. Robinhood. The other day, what's his name? The CEO dude started going on a whole PR circuit tour. And he was in one of the interviews and he was explaining what the policy is based on the regulation for how Robinhood functions on the back end. Meaning when you use your bank account to give Robinhood money, right? Robinhood then takes that money and puts it into their account. And you say, well, I want this amount of stock or I want this amount of crypto. They go, all right, well, we got this amount of crypto. And then we can go to this company over here that is the clearinghouse on our back end. And then we give you X amount of an IOU in representation of that thing that you said you wanted. On the front end, all you see was that you swiped, the color changed, the number went up. And you're like, all right, cool. I got this stock. I got this on crypto. No, you have an IOU because how it works on the back end isn't what they promote on the front end.
You know what? I'm gonna stop it right there because you're hitting on some stuff, and I know us. We could go on and on, but listen, guys, trust me. I wouldn't have somebody on here that's gonna sell you a dream. Y'all need real talk. If y'all really serious about it, y'all need to really focus on people that keep it very much real with you and not scared to tell you like, yo, man, wake up, open up your eyes. And Shrek is one of them. And, you know, I'm going to have his information on the description. So if y'all serious, or even if y'all just want to ask him advice or who to look into, who's real, who's not real, this is the man to keep it real with y'all. Very much, man. So do you want to say something the last minute to them?
Last minute. It is an opportunity that is availing itself. The whole thing that I think is like the real key to this new technology that's being proliferated. And when I say proliferated, I mean that it's open source. It's out there to anybody. The access to it, it is literally at least 1 million plus videos on YouTube. If you cannot just finger jam it until you come up with the thing that you are looking for and what interests you, what works towards what's going on in your life situation. My life situation is way different than yours. And because I've been in the space longer, there are certain things that I take for granted. So I really have to like check myself when I talk to somebody who's just coming new to the space. And I say to people, before you come to talk to me, just write down all your questions and then we can go through it one by one. That way I know how to answer what is relevant to you, not what I understand and blah, 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 you know, back end, front end, whatever. So if somebody want to reach out, you can find me.
Yeah, he ain't hiding. I can tell you that. He ain't hiding. But listen, guys, I don't think, especially if you're new to the field of the industry, I don't think you knew how much gems he's just dropped in like 15 minutes. So if you just listen to this once, you may have to listen to it again, because he dropped a lot of jewels. So definitely listen to this, take advice, follow up with him if he's serious. Definitely come correct. Do your research. Don't be like, I'm interested in Bitcoin, because I guarantee you he's going to ask you additional questions like, yo, is it just Bitcoin or whatever? So, yo, listen, I appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule, and let's continue making it happen, bro. I appreciate you.
All right. Thank you for having me. Oh, so let me say it this way. For
Yep.
anybody who's looking for me, right? TREKK, the number 2, WKS. No hashtag needed. Just put it in the search engine. My stuff will come up.
And if you don't remember that, it's going to be in the description. And if you can't get that, here's what he said in the description. I can't help you. I can't help you. But you can find them if you really want them. All right, guys.
All right.
Peace.
Adios.